Praise be to your holy name, Father. I come to you, I'm praising your holy name, and I'm rejoicing in you, Father, through your Son, Yeshua, the one who died for me and saved me and brought his kingdom down here that people can have it in their hearts. Thank you. Thank you. As today has been a very difficult day. As I was seeking the Lord, I just felt so brokenhearted. I could almost just feel his tears because this world is so consumed with things, with people, and looking to things of this world and to people for their salvation. And you know, when Yeshua walked this earth, he told to the scribes and Pharisees, he said, you know, the things that you do is your reward because you seek it out to do it. You dress in your robes, you dress for people's approval. And my heart breaks for these people that just keep letting it happen. I don't want anyone to follow me, to set me up on a pedestal, for I am nothing but a human being. I have faults and sins that I had to ask for forgiveness, and they were forgiven. And as I was studying the Bible, and I'm going to just speak on this little verse, John 16:8. It says, when he comes, he will show the world is wrong about sin, about righteousness, and about judgment. The world is wrong about it. Why are they wrong about it? He goes on into the 9th verse saying about sin and that people don't put their trust in me. If you put your trust in anything or anyone, you're taking your eyes off of Yeshua and your trust away from Yeshua, and you're looking at that person or that thing. And when you do that, you are putting things between you and the Father. The only thing that the Father has put up that you must come to is Yeshua, his Son. Not another human being, and not a thing or a country. It's all about him. You may criticize leaders, you may criticize countries, you may criticize people, but I'm telling you, when you do that, you are stepping in the shoes of Yahweh, because he is the judge. Yeshua is the one that follows his Father's orders, and he will judge you on every thought, every deed, every word you spoke. And this is just pouring down on me. When you don't trust in Yeshua, Jesus Christ, you've committed sin. And you put anything else between you and him, you're committing sin. Then it goes on in 10, verse 10. And about righteousness, in that I am going to the Father, and you will no longer see me. Because he is the source of our righteousness. And he was telling the disciples and the apostles, I'm leaving, I'm going to the Father. You won't be able to see me visibly with these two eyes. But I am the righteousness. That's what Yeshua was telling them. If you don't believe in me, it's sin. If you look to me, I am the righteousness of your life and your soul. I am that righteousness. And then it goes on in 11 about judgment. In that the ruler of this world has been judged. Who is the ruler of this world right now? Satan. And he has been judged. Everything falls into two categories. You either believe and trust in Yeshua, you accept him as your righteousness and your salvation, or you're sinning. You turn your back on the ruler of this world. You look only to Yeshua and not to the things of this world. The governments of this world can't help you. A human being, one human being can't help you. None of us has the power. We can encourage you, but we don't have that righteousness that was placed upon Yeshua, that we must walk through, that we must travel through. I can feel a heavy heart. Don't let anyone control your thoughts. Don't let anyone control you. Through Yeshua, we have the freedom. I know in America it says we have the freedom of speech, and we're supposed to. Although some of it is being taken away from us daily, it seems. But in Yeshua, we have the freedom to speak according to his will, praising his name and glorifying his name and worshiping him, for he is the one that brings us to the Father. He's the one that lays us there before the Father. And if you do not trust in him and only him, you're sinning. It is a sin. For he is our righteousness. And it's coming as soon. And if we look to another and we get our eyes off of Yeshua, we will be left behind. I know the things around this world is hard. We've seen Egypt in all its chaos, and it's in the Bible. In fact, Egypt one day, and I say soon, will be totally, utterly destroyed. It says so in the scriptures. Go get you a good concordance and look up and study Egypt, please. Because you need to study and really find these things out for yourself. But the way it describes it, Ethiopia, Libya, and Egypt are going to be utterly, totally destroyed. No one can even walk on their land for 40 years. It will hold no wildlife for 40 years. The plague that will descend upon them, the very skin on them will melt, and their eyeballs will melt in their heads, and their tongues will melt in their mouth. Please go and search. I want you to search for yourself. I know I could read it all, but I want you to be led by the Ruach Kadesh. I want you to search the Word out and see what the Scripture says about these things. And you know, my heart grieves for those people over there in Egypt and all around that area. My heart grieves for Israel, for she's going to be going through so much chaos, even worse than she's already went through. I know. And my heart prays for them. They're kind and gentle. You may want to try to make them out land grabbers and things, but you know, the land over there doesn't belong to anybody but God, and He gave it to the children of Israel. Why did He choose Isaac over Esau? Well, at the very beginning, He told Abraham that his seed would come through Isaac. But because of fear and doubt, Sarah gave him her handmaiden, and he had Ishmael. And Abraham loved Ishmael. At one point, he even begged for God to let that seed come through Ishmael. Well, people don't understand that the seed that He was talking to Abraham was the seed that would be carried down through generations, that one day a young girl would be born, and she would come up to maybe the age of 14 or 13, they don't know for sure, they estimate, but that she would become pregnated by Yahweh God Himself. And how I'm not going to debate with you. I'm not even going to go there, because if He can breathe the breath of life into Adam, He sure can breathe the breath of life into a womb. But Yeshua is coming soon, and it is about Him, because God said it that way. And that seed had to come to Isaac, through Isaac. He said, before Abraham ever had a child, He said it would be a son from Sarah. Because why? Because she was from the same kinsman that he was. The line had to be pure, it had to be perfect, it had to lead right to Yeshua. That's why it wasn't Ishmael. Because he was born of an Egyptian woman. And that seed could not come from an Egyptian and a Jew. Or at that time, a Hebrew man. He wasn't really a Jew. He wasn't any of the 12 tribes. But it does call him Hebrew. It had to become through a Hebrew man and a Hebrew woman. And that was Sarah and Abraham. Not through an Egypt and a Hebrew. But, you know, I'm really in grief tonight, because turn yourself over to Yeshua. In the name of Yeshua, I plead the blood. In the name of Yeshua, turn yourself over to Him tonight. For He is the way, the truth, and the life. In the name of Yeshua.